Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode we're going to be taking a look into refined storage, into the auto crafting. We did some basic things, basically the most basic thing you can do, and that is to craft a furnace. So basically I just used a crafter and I told it how to, gave it a pattern which we made in this pattern grid. So you just put the cobblestone around, put your pattern here, it shows the furnace here, you craft it, place it into the crafter, and now we can auto craft a furnace if we needed to for some reason. I have a couple in here, but if I take them all out, you can see right here it says craft. If you click on that, you can craft how many ever you want, hit start, and you can continue with the job. Now, basically what I made this for specifically is I made them for the drives. So these take a decent amount of time to craft, especially if you don't have the right amount of material. That's what I'm looking for. So if we take a look at a 256K, and we could do that just by doing this. Now if we take a look at this, you need 3 64Ks, which is then 9 16Ks, which is then 27 4K, and then what's that, 81 1Ks. So now you multiply 81 by 4, that's how many silicon, by 3 for glass, quartz enriched, so on and so forth. Now, it's not that bad. Honestly, it's not too bad. But it does take about, and that's only for one disc. You could fit 8 in here. So if you were to make 8, now you're looking at 24, and then what is that, 72, or like 214, so on. You're looking at like 600, and then multiply that by 4, you're looking at 1200, 1800. You're looking at a lot of material. So you have to craft everything before you even start this. Now if we make auto crafting and we show it how to make every single one of these, and then within every single one of these you have to show it how to make an advanced processor, then you also have to show it how to make a raw advanced processor. And in this case, you have to show it how to make a processor binding as well as silicon. And if we continued on, you need to show it how to make quartz enriched iron. And then that's just for 64K. And then with the 16K, you just have to show it the recipe for it because it used the same processors. In this case, you have to show it how to make the improved processor, which is just using gold, but you have to show it that recipe as well. And then let's continue down. You also have to show it the basic processor as well as the silicon, which we already went over. And then you also want to show it how to do glass, like insert sand into a furnace and then continue on. Now, if we go over to show up the elevator, thank you. Now, if we head over here to our furnaces and pulverizers and things like that, if we take a look on the end here, there's a redstone furnace, and right now I'm sending it sand. Now, that's perfectly fine. That's probably actually going to work. So what we have to use is to show it how to make glass. We just have to do the same thing, but instead of using we'll put an exporter, but then we'll put a crafter on the other side instead of the exporter. So then it'll automatically export the glass or the sand to make glass. Now the only thing is that we don't have any more sand. I used all 200,000 or 2,000 of it. Now the only thing that we can do is pulverize gravel into sand and then into the furnace to get glass. So there's a couple things that we need to accomplish to get that to be able to auto craft. So I'm gonna start with just the basic process, or the basic storage capacitor, or whatever they're called. I'm gonna go and see exactly what they're called. So we're just gonna start with the 1K storage part, and the reason I'm doing that is if we start at the beginning, obviously we're not going to be crafting any of these. I just want to give it the parameter to be able to craft those. Once we're able to craft those, we're in good standing, because after that it's basically the same recipe except for the outside edges change a little bit. So now we need a couple patterns. So I don't think I have any. I have one. Is that, it's not used for anything. Okay. Now, just for the 1K, we're going to need one pattern for this recipe. We're also going to need a pattern for the quartz enriched. And then we're also going to need a pattern for the silicon, which is smelting nether quartz into that. So that's 3 so far. And then also we're going to need one for glass so we can smelt the sand. So if we were able to do that and accomplish that, we should be fine. So I'm going to need, how many was that? 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need 4. So I'm just going to make 3 more. Here. Okay, they stack. Good. I'm just going to have 5 just in case. So now if we head up here, nope, this one, the pattern grid. Now if we want to, I think we have to actually make everything. I think we have to make everything so we have all the items in there, honestly. Because I don't think you're able to do that. Oh yeah, you are able to do that. Cool, cool, cool. But I think I have everything in there, honestly. Okay, so I need 1 pattern for the actual storage thing. Now if I get rid of that and we do this, I also need a pattern for that. Okay, so we have the quartz enriched, we have the actual thing itself. Now, we could do the silicon by using the Certus quartz. Because do we have a lot of that dust? We don't have a lot of the dust, but we do have a lot of Certus quartz that we can pulverize into the Certus quartz, which then we can pulverize into that. But we have 123,000 other quartz. I doubt we're going to go through that. I mean, obviously, it's possible. Now, if we take this, and if we go down here to processing, and if we put in a nether quartz, and then we grab a silicon. Whoa, 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 whoa. One. Okay, so basically what this is saying is it's a processing pattern, and what it is you're going to input nether quartz and it's going to output silicon. So if we set up one of the, I'm just going to create this so I can back out of it. If we put one of these crafters over a furnace and we put this pattern in and we request silicon, what it's going to do is it's going to send down nether quartz, and then it's going to output, obviously, it's going to output what we're requiring, which is silicon. Now, we could technically have an exporter and just keep exporting the nether quartz and automatically just turning all of our nether quartz into silicon, but at that point, if we need nether quartz or something and we don't have any, we're screwed. So that's what's nice about the crafter, is it's only going to make as many as it needs. So as you can see, this pattern, it's a little bit different. This one just says 4 quartz enriched. This one, it says input output. So we're going to input nether quartz, and we're going to get silicon in return in the processing pattern. As you can see there in blue, it says it's processing. So that's how you make the processing. I had to do some research in between episodes. Also, I did note last episode that I wasn't going to record this episode until the last one went live so I can get an idea of what we need to do for our dome. I figured I wanted to get in this video recorded and uploaded in the same time frame. And the reason I want to do that is I want to make sure that we have enough disks, or I guess storage cells, whatever you want to call it. We need enough storage to put everything in our storage and then take that over with us and then take out what we want as we're going. So we don't have to move all of the furnaces, and then we have to come back and move all of the chests, then we have to come back and move all of this. If we break everything, put it into our storage, we have nothing to worry about. So that's probably going to be the easiest way around it, and that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. But I want to make sure that we have enough storage drives so that when we do move, I don't have to worry about setting this all up right away, and I can take a few episodes to get back into rolling around with things. So we have the storage part, we have the quartz enriched, we have the silicon. Now we just need the glass. So there's too many different types of glass, so I'm just going to do another processing, and then I'm going to, I don't have any sand, so I had to fly and grab sand real quick. I mean, not fly, but, well, technically fly, but you know what I mean. There's sand right here. So if I grab this, now the problem I'm going to have here, and it's not going to be that big of an issue, I hope not, I hope it doesn't grab it immediately. I have that automatically exporting to do the sand. So let me go down and shut that off before I put the sand in, because if I place the sand in the system and it pulls it out for glass, we're going to have to keep doing this over and over again. So if I take that out, go back up. We need elevator music. Okay. Now that we have that, we should be able to do glass or sand, and then if we grab some glass, we don't even have normal glass. Can I make glass with glass panes? Is that a thing? That has to be a thing. Okay, it's not a thing. Well, is that stored in there? That's stored in there. So let me take that one sand. Melt that real quick. Come back here. Place that there. Do that. Bink. Now we're good. Okay, so let me go back to the 1K part. And we have the recipe for the storage part itself. We have the recipe for the silicon. We have the recipe for the quartz enrich. We have the recipe for glass. Now, the only other thing that I can think of that we might need is we don't have any more sand. Can I get no? Can I get sand from sandstone? Sandstone. I couldn't. Can't say it. Sandstone. That's the uses for it. You should put it. Yeah, pulverize. Okay, that's what I thought. So if I grab out, let's just grab out. Okay, yeah, just throw it on the ground. And we pulverize this. Get some sand. Should be all we need. Now, what I want to do is I also do want to do another processing, but I want to do gravel. I keep forgetting that. Into sand. And the reason I'm doing that is now if we need sand, like say we're out of sand, it's going to request to make sand. So to do that, you have to throw the gravel into the pulverizer and it gives you back sand. So if we do that, now we don't have to worry about getting sand unless we have no gravel. So, and then I could also do it with the sandstone. Place that in a pulverizer to get sand also. So there's multiple ways that we could go about it. But I think this should be everything that we need. So I can go ahead and, since these are just the normal crafting recipes. Yeah, so those are just the normal crafting recipes. So I can throw those in there. Now these are processing. And those aren't. So now I need a crafter on a furnace for the sand to glass. And then also the nether quartz to silicon. So I'm going to make a furnace per thing. Just so we don't have to wait for the process for the nether quartz, the silicon to get done, and then do the glass. I want to do both at the same time for the best efficiency, basically. So what I'm gonna do is, thank God I have, I don't know, these nice upgraded furnaces over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna grab these also. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm just doing this as a. I should have just left it there for a temporary thing. And I can get rid of all of these. I don't need any of these. Yeah, I don't need any of this. I just mined out a whole bunch. That's the only thing I don't like about this pick. It's dangerous. Because it mines so fast. Obviously, I don't have those blocks in my inventory right now. Get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need that, or that. So this is all we need right here. Now, so obviously we're going to need some output. So we're going to have to run some glass over to it. Or we could put it down here. Yeah, we could put it down here, I guess. I don't know how far back, but that's fine. So I just need some glass to run underground. And then we're going to need some exporters, importers. And that should be all we need. Because once we place the... I forget the name of the machine already. Once we place the crafter on the machine, it should output the items automatically. But I'm not 100% on how that works. We'll do some trial and error here. I'll just craft a crafter and then throw it on the just a redstone furnace to craft some silicon. We'll request the silicon, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and put it on the edge here. But obviously, this is gonna have to go too deep, not low. And the reason I have to go that is because I have to put the glass down there, and then the oh, that's only one block. Never mind. I don't think I had to go down that far. That's alright. Place the redstone furnace there. Place the other one next to it, and then the other one next to it. We could turn that like that. That one like that. And then this one the same. All those have the input on the bottom, output through the bottom. Or input through the top, output through the bottom. Now we just need to power them. Do I have any more of our flux? I don't have one in there. Let's go into here, do flux point. Is it a point or plug for removing? Go. Think, think. Those should automatically be charged. Okay. Let's make a crafter. I don't have one. This guy here. If I have any of that. Oh, we got a majority out of it. Majority. Oh. Yeah, throw it down. Okay. Now, I don't know if that has to be like facing it. You see how the front of the block looks different than the back, bottom, stuff like that. I don't know if it actually has to face it or not. I don't even know if it outputs items. So do that there. And then let's hook that up through the back. So we'll go. I'm clicking once and it's still zooming through. Okay, let me grab some glass. Or not glass, cable. That's what it's called. And let's do ding, ding, ding. Am I trapped in here? No, I'm not. Is that connected down there? No. Now it is. Okay. That's connected. Now, let's see if that works. Silicon. I have 1.9 thousand silicon? Holy lord. Alright, let's do it this way. Only craftables. Alright. We have to take it all out just to make sure it works. I didn't know I had all that. To be honest. Gotta watch because it's gonna move on me. Oh! Wrong thing. I thought it was on my backpack. Okay, so now I should have none in this system, right? Okay. Now, if I want to craft 10, start. Start. No machine found. Maybe it does have to be facing it? Oh, it does that no matter what. It has to be like that. Hey. All right. So yeah, it looks like it does have to face it. Okay. Oh, that worked easy. I thought that was going to be a lot harder for some reason. And then we can connect cable right here. And then we can put our things on. Our importers. Alright. Yeah, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad it was easier. It's always better when stuff's easier than it is. Importer. And that's why it's always bad to overestimate things. I don't have that. Figures. What am I missing? I don't know what it's talking about. I didn't take all of this. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. No silicon? Magically silicon. Okay, got one importer. Now we just need 2 more. I need to make 2 of these. I don't have it. 2 of those. I also need those. I'm really going to have to capture a slime and put that in a spawner as well. I think that's going to be the best idea for these because we're going to need a lot of this processing bonding. And the trees are only going to do so much. We only have 34. So I'm going to have to go and capture a slime somehow. And we're going to have to do it that way. Because, I mean, that's going to be our limit on what we're trying to accomplish here. Go stack. Just stack. Okay, so now if we go dink, dink. Oh, we don't even have to put cable on it. It automatically has cable. Huh. I like it. Alright, so yeah, that was fairly simple. Okay, what other ones do we need now? Because I forget already. Let's bring these down. Let's bring my food down. Let's bring this garbage down. Put that in our ME system. Yeah. Not ME system, our refined. Okay. So that one's from, that's the other one. Okay, so now we need 2 more crafters. Right? Yeah. So let's craft 2 more of these guys. Need 2 of these. I don't have that. And then we need 2 of those. So we need 4 of these. I think. Put those in. Actually, those are going to be done pretty quick. Oh yeah, I forgot they're in the system. I need 2 of those. Those. 2 of these. Oh, I ran diamond one. Hey, get back here. Okay. Think. Alright, so now we have those. So now if I do this, I can think it and sync it. Goes up with the cables. Now that they're hooked up with the cables. Sorry you guys can hear my keyboard clicking a lot. Once I get to a mic stand so I can have it connected to the desk and I don't have the actual physical mic on the table or like on my desk, I feel like that's going to be helpful a lot because right now the keyboard is behind my mic, and for me to, I did some testing, and for me to block out the noise of the keyboard, it cuts off some of the words I say because I have to turn up the what was it called? I have to turn up the noise gate. That's what it is. I have to turn up the noise gate, so every time I start a sentence or end a sentence, it sort of cuts off like half the word, and I wasn't really happy with it when I was doing my testing, so I left it how it was. So I do apologize if the keyboard is annoying. Like I said, I do apologize. Okay. Now that we have that, let me go in here, grab out the sand that we have. Now I want 64 sand. Hey, look at that. 64 gravel. It looks acceptable. Boom. Oh, also, say we wanted to feed this more gravel at one time. You could put speed upgrades in here from refined storage. So I believe they are speed upgrade. Yeah, the speed upgrade. So what that does, that's just going to feed more of the item into there. So whatever the input is, so right now it'd be gravel, it would feed the gravel a lot faster. Now, I don't know, because there is a crafting upgrade. I'm not 100% on what that does. Let me go to Google real quick here. And let me see what that is. Crafting upgrade. Okay, so it looks like the crafting upgrade... Wait, what? The crafting upgrade will schedule a crafting task when the item being used in a device is needed but not available. That doesn't make any sense to me. It allows devices such as the exporter to trigger auto crafting operations during export. What would be the point of that? Okay, crafting upgrades are used in exporters and interfaces, and when you put one in, they will auto-craft the items being exported using crafters you have set up to craft them. Say you have an export bus pointing into something like an Ender.io farming station, and you have the export bus configured to output a wooden axe. If you have a crafting upgrade in the export bus, it will request a wooden pickaxe be crafted if there's a pattern for it in the system when there is room in the destination. Oh. Okay, so if I had an export bus set up to like some type of right clicker with a sword and the sword broke, it would automatically request a new one if I had an exporter hooked up, if I'm reading that correctly. I mean, I mean, oh, go away. I guess it could be useful if you know, like if you have a big project or if you know what you're doing with it, I guess. But yeah, this basically what I'm trying to say is speed upgrade, stack upgrade, that'll pull the items in a lot faster. So we don't really need them because everything that we're going to be doing, it's going to take a little bit of time. And even if we had, say, feeding it a stack, it doesn't really matter. This can't smelt that fast. So, yeah. So do we have everything we need to craft one now? I know we have 36. I know we're going to need a lot more. So let's just do 128. Missing 512 silicon. But I can craft silicon. Is it because of that recipe? Available 1, available 64, available. So it's looking like it's requesting silicon from Applied Energistics 2, but that's not what I have up here. It's just silicon. So do I have to do an ore direct? No, I don't. What's ore direct? And here comes the issues already. Ordict. Okay, so Ordict mode, the pattern can be configured to be an Ordict pattern. Instead of extracting the exact item, it'll try to extract equivalent items according to the Ore dictionary as well. So I should probably do that for the actual 1K storage. I overwrite this. The reason I have to do this is that there's multiple parts of silicon. There's multiple mods that you can get silicon from. So I have to do this so it'll try to pull the other versions of the silicon. Let's see how it pulls that in. I don't want that. I want the other silicon in there. This one. So if I do that, it should allow me to. I should have probably used the other silicon to make sure that worked for you guys, but I guess if you put the recipe with the actual silicon you're using, I guess it should work. Is it already crafting this stuff? Or since I pulled that out, it's not going to. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to. So now if I go into here, 1K. Okay, available to craft. Wait, it's saying all this is available? It crafted all that glass and stuff? Or do I just have all that glass on hand? I have all the glass on hand. Oh, that's why. I remember. Okay, so now, if we take a look at this, if we remember before, it had to smelt a lot of this stuff. now that I have the Ordict, I would recommend doing that for everything, basically. Well, maybe not. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. So in my case, the Ordict works better because I have chiseled glass, and if I didn't, it would have to craft 384 regular glass instead of using the other glass that I already have. So in some instances, I guess it would be better to do exact, but in my case, glass is glass, silicon is silicon, quartz enriched iron is quartz enriched iron regardless. Obviously redstone and that. So let me go ahead and hit start on that. Let me see how fast this goes. Oh, yeah. So, so this crafter, what we could do is we could put speed upgrades in the crafter that is, because if you see how slow it's going. Let me see if I have speed upgrades. I do not. Let me try to see if I can make those real quick so we can take a. I mean, we have to make more, so it's no issue. But let me see if I can make this. Nope. Let me do 4 because we can. Really? There's 64 of it. Come at me now. Say something. I'm gonna do 4. The only reason I'm doing 4 is down here and here. The reason I'm doing 4 is we should be able to make 4 of them, unless this crafts more than 4. But what are we out of? I was gonna say glass. Hello, we have a lot. Okay. Please don't tell me it's done already. It is. Okay, so you saw how slow they were going. Now, I'm going to take those out, and we're going to craft 64 more. Okay, so it looks like it has to craft the quartz enriched. It has to craft glass. It has to craft sand. So this is actually going to be a test for what we need. Because as you can see, it's using the 304 glass, but we need more, so it's going to have to craft more. So we're going to see if everything works because it has to actually craft. So let's see. Yeah, see how much faster it is? Now we're waiting on the stuff to be made. So if it's in your system and you put those speed upgrades in, it zooms through it like instant. But now that we're waiting for sand and the silicon and all that, now that's where this comes into play. Okay, so that's not too bad. I like it. That in there, put that in there, put that in there. Okay. Yeah, I like it. That works. Okay, now comes the tricky part. We're gonna have to find a slime to actually get this to work. How much time are we running on this episode here? We're running on about a half hour right now. Should we go down and just turn this on 7x7 and just start mining and trying to get a slime area? Or, oh, oh no, we have to, ooh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be real tough. Because I have to get a can you get a soul from I can't think of the word now. From a slime? Can I get a slime soul? I would assume so. Yeah, I would assume you should be able to get it from everything. So let's fly around, see if we can find actually, pull this up, do this. Okay, there's one, there's a, oh, I thought something was on fire. Looks like there's a swamp biome right here. And this is where slime spawns on top level. Here's also some rubber from Industrial Craft. You can make a tap and pull that out, and you can also just keep grabbing the saplings to replant it, and keep grabbing that out. That's another way to get the actual. What are those frogs? Huh? Huh? But yeah, that's another way to get rubber. I don't really think it's actually useful in anything unless you're doing industrial craft, which we are not yet. Not yet. I want to get into something that I've never done, and that's a nuclear reactor. I don't know why. I've always wanted to do one. We always go to do it, and then we stop. So I definitely want to get that up and rolling. Okay, there has to be a better way to get a slime. Oh, slime islands. I need to fly around and see if I can get another slime island like this here. Because if we're able to get a slime island, where is that to where I'm at? I need to go this way and straight. But if we're able to get a slime island and kill one of the slime there, it doesn't matter if the slime's the green, blue, purple, anything. It could be a king slime. It could be any type of slime. We just have to kill enough of them to get a soul. If you could even get a soul, we might be doing this to waste time. But we will need to do... Ooh, there's slime. Let's go. No way. No way. Holy Lord. I am the luckiest person right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really do. Temporary home, which was supposed to be temporary, then it became mandatory or permanent, and now it's become temporary. I'm glad we didn't change the name. I'm putting this in there just so I don't accidentally do anything with it. So now, same thing with this down here. Ooh. I'm messing up all over the place. Same thing with this, the draconic stabilized spawner. We can now use that with our blue slime, and it's going to craft blue slime. We're going to kill it over and over again. We shouldn't be able to. We should never run out of slime balls. Scratch that. We will, but it'll be a lot harder. Continue. So yeah, now if we take a look at the 1K, it's done. If we go down and look at our crafting monitor, everything's done. So we have it all set for the 1K. Now, obviously, we're not going to be using 1Ks. We're at 256K. If anything, we need to go higher than that. But that's okay. Let me move this. I almost knocked stuff over on my desk because I talk to a microphone and move my hands anyway, like you guys can see me. But besides the point. Okay, so now that we have the 1K, now we can move up to the, I think it's 4K, right? And now the only thing that's going to change, obviously, is going to be the recipe for the actual 4K itself. And then on the outside edge, we already have the recipe for the quartz enriched, and we already have the recipe for the 1K. So if we need more 1Ks, it can use the recipes that we already crafted to make more 1Ks. So in this instance, the only thing we have to give it is a basic processor. So we're going to need a processing pattern to go from raw basic to the basic. And then we're going to need a pattern for this as well. We don't have to worry about silicon because we already have it. And the only other thing that we'd have to worry about in here is processing binding. And we shouldn't have to worry about any of this. I mean, we have unbelievable amount of string. Slime balls, we're setting up a spawner, so we don't have to worry about that either. So really the only thing that we'd have to worry about for the 4K would be nothing. I like it. So how many more patterns do we need for 4K? So we need one for the 4K. We need one for the smelting bit. We need one for the actual raw process, or raw basic. And then we need one for the processing binding. So we need a total of 4 patterns. I'm pretty sure we used them. I need to just make a bunch of these. Honest. We have no glass. Are you serious? We're out of, Hey, I love it. I love it. Pretty sure I said 4. I'll make 5 just in case, though. Okay, so in here, we need to do Ordict because, I don't really think it matters, to be quite honest, but we'll do it anyway. 4K part. Once I go through this next one here, because if we take a look, what in the world was that? 16,384K. Huh? That is ginormous. 4,096K, 1024, 256, 64, 16, 4, 1. Holy Lord, that's giant. Yeah, let me go back to my original 4K, you know. Let me go with the basics here. Basics. Okay. We need one for this. Oh, I already had it there. Oh. Okay, we need one for this. So, patterns in. I'm going to do Ordict. I don't think it'll matter, but I'm going to keep it on that for now, just so in case if something messes up, I don't have to worry about it. Okay? Now we're good. So I have this. We have those. We have the quartz enriched redstone we don't have to worry about. Now we need one for the smelting, so we have to make one of the... Oh, did we get... Nope, we didn't catch it. Oh, we didn't catch that either. Looking... Place that there. I don't think it'll matter now that we have that. But we'll move past it. We also need one for this here. I'll wait until it comes up blue. Come on. The reason I want to do the blue one here is that we have a blue slime soul. So I want to make sure every recipe is good. I don't want any more hiccups. Okay, now I have to craft one of these guys. And the reason I have to craft one of these is I have to put in a processing one for the basic processor. And I don't think I have a basic processor. I have one though. I can go down and smelt that. Go. I love making stuff easy. Okay. Basic. I need one of those. Those. Go back upstairs. Here. Processing. Not Ordict. Raw processing. Basic. Done. Okay. Close all that out. Keep the pattern in there. Like I said, I think we only needed 4, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so for the 4K, we needed one for the actual 4K, which we're good. We needed one for the basic processor, for the smelting process here. We needed one for the actual processor. And then we needed one for the processing binding. 4. Cool. Okay. Now, how much room do I have in here? That is nothing special. Wait, did I do that right? Yeah. Because that's just a normal recipe. That's just a normal recipe. This is the only thing that has to go into a furnace. So, if that is right, I could go in here, do basic, grab these, craft 10, everything's available, boom, done. Cool. Now I need another furnace. Do I make another one and put it here, or do I just throw it in here with the glass? Let's start in with the glass for now. I know I just said literally 10 minutes ago that I did not want to overlap this. However, for me to make a redstone furnace and then upgrade it to signalium, I might have to do some extra steps, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. I'm just doing this for some testing, because once I complete for the 4K, I might cut out the rest. I mean, I don't know. I might just continue, because 16K, I mean, it's the exact same thing. Make a pattern for this. Make a pattern for this. Make a pattern for this. We already have the pattern for the processing binding, so we only need 2 for the 16. For the 64, you need 1 for this here, 1 for this here. That's only 2. And then once we get into 256, you only need 2. And then once we get into the 20 whatever, you only need 2. So I'll go ahead and continue. I guess I could leave it in. I'm not going to cut it, because once we get to the 256, that's when I will end the video. So I guess I probably shouldn't have done that, because if you guys don't want to watch it until the end because you already get the general idea, you're just going to leave now. So if you're around at the end, I appreciate you. If you leave now, I appreciate you for being here this long. So let's go ahead and continue along. We have everything for the 4K. Let me actually request a 4K. just to make sure it works. Let's do 10 of them. Does it have to craft anything? Okay, it does. Cool. It has to craft 18 of the basic. It has to craft 39 of the basic processors. Start. How many did I request? 10? What's it crafting here? So it's the furnace being held up. But it's not cooking as fast. Yeah, because it's processing those. Yep. As soon as it makes those, it's... Yep, done. Right? I know I don't have to keep coming back up here. I can go into my little portable one, but... Alright, 4K works. So that means everything into 4K is done. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and make another crafter. The reason I'm making another crafter is, if you could see, once we put in the 2 for the gold and the actual 16K, we're going to be out. I guess we could just continue along. Let's just do the 16 real quick. Let's go into here. We do need more patterns, though. You know what? Let's teach it how to make patterns. Why didn't we do this before? Everything's in here. It already knows how to make glass. It knows how to make the quartz. It knows how to do everything. Yeah, let's do Ordict, and let's teach it how to make a pattern. Wow, I'm smart. Pattern. 10. Start. Thank you. Back up here. I would recommend doing that one first. 16K. Think. I need one of those. Now the only difference between the 16 and the 4 is, if you take a look, the outside edge. Obviously we already did this, so it already recognizes you need a 4K, and we already have able to craft those. So the only thing different, outside edge. As you can see, this one requires an improved, this one requires basic. So if we go ahead into the improved, we just have to set up a processing one for this, and then we also need a thing for this. Looking. Think. And clear that out. Do processing. Processors. Think. Processors. One. Hey. Need one. If I go up to here. That. Up. To this. Processor. This to that. To there. To that. To that. Okay. Throw it on that one. I know. The opposite of what I said. But we're good for now. We're good. So now I should be able to craft a 16K. So let's go ahead and type in 16K. And give me 10 of those also. But that is a lot to craft. Oh yeah. And it does work with the slime balls. Start. Give me 10. I don't know why I keep doing 10. I should just do 1 to make sure it works. Working. All today. But I want to make sure it has to craft stuff. So I guess basically that does make more sense. Wait. Why do we have fortune in here? Oh, for the block breaker. Right? Or I think there's a block breaker. Yeah, destructor. So if you take a destruct, say you got silk touch on your. Why is there only 8? Oh, okay. Guess it has to craft that many things that it's running out, because I probably have to craft 2 things in the same furnace. But if you place a constructor or destructor down and you put fortune on it, and you have like diamond blocks or anything like that, instead of using the pulverizer like I'm doing, you could probably just do it that way, and then have that, and then I don't know if it sucks in the items or if you'd have to put down a hopper, but it would work. It would work. Okay, so the 16K is done. That's working perfect. On to the 64. And it's going to be the same thing. We need a pattern for this. We need a pattern for this. For that. Silicon. Zinc. Hey. God. Okay. Now. I also need a processor. So let's go ahead. Oh, I need a crafter. Can I teach you how to make crafters too? I'll do that later. I'm not worried about that right now. We'll do that in a later episode. Need some more iron. That's how you spell iron. 4 start. Yep, thank you. Crafter. We don't have anything, I don't think. 1, 2. I should have these. I mean, pretty sure I don't. But I will now. Thank you. I love it. I love auto crafting. I never did it in my last like 7 times I played this this mod pack. I didn't know anything about the refined storage. But man, this is lovely. I've only done auto crafting once out of my, I don't want to call it career, but career of mod packs, basically. Okay, listen. There. The only thing bad about using 2 different things, everything gets mixed up. Okay. Now, as long as these are touching, it's linked. As long as those are touching, it's linked. You don't need cable. I know it's hideous. I know. It looks like I'm trying to build a wither. That and that can go in there. Now, if I request a processor, I request one of those. I take one of those. I go up to here, clear that, go to processing, place that there. Clear it. I want it to be in the middle. Looks better. Now if I go like that, go up. Type in processor. Think pink. Pink. Go back down. No, it's the opposite of what I said to do. But I mean, there has to be some breaking point. We got 2, 5, and 1. So we're looking at another, I mean, it's only 3 furnaces, but then you're looking at the 3 upgrades, the 9 upgrades that you need. And I know I have like 6,000 furnaces down there, but they're all used for ore producing. So now we have the 64. So again, let's just craft 3 of those. Just to make sure it works. The reason I did 3 is you only need 3 of the 64 for a 256. What is that? Is it reform storage? Is that what it's called? 256. What is this called? Reborn storage. Okay. Now, whoa, what is all this? Heat conductor, crafting frame, crafting CPU, crafting storage, I/O port. Allow your crusher to chop up logs into planks. Not the same mod. So it looks like the reborn storage, it has its own thing. Crafting frame, a heat conductor, a CPU, a storage for all your craftings, and an I/O port to input-output items. Wonder if that's any better than the actual one that we have. I don't know. We'll stick with what we have for now. So this is all the stuff that we're able to craft right now. Cool. Cool. So I guess we can go into the reason I'm doing the parts instead of the actual discs is you can combine these with the disc once you have it and it crafts it. So it makes it, I don't know if it was actually easier, but I feel like having a storage housing and just taking the storage parts and just putting them together seems like a better idea to me. Okay, so now let's get rid of the processing. So for the 256, we need the 64, so we need this. We need one of those. And then I believe it's the same. Actually, we have everything already crafted. We can already make advanced processors, right? Yeah, advanced processors. Yeah, we don't have to add anything. Cool. So now I can request 256. And how many get stored in each item? Or each one? So we need 1, 2. So we need 10. Hey, magic number, 10. See how long this takes. Because we're going to need a lot of stuff. Look at all this. We have to craft 1,424 processing bindings. We have to craft 1,526 glass. We have to craft 960, 320, 148, 320, 515, 80, 820 of the quartz enriched iron. We don't have enough slime balls. Everything else is available. The only thing we're missing is slime. And obviously we need the slime to do this because we need 139 slime balls for this. So we can cancel that. So basically what that's telling me is we need to set up our slime ball farm-ish thing. So I'm going to go down to here. I'm going to go basically beside this one, I guess. So that's what? 1, 2, and it's what? 7. So 1... We'll just go here. How's that one designed? I don't remember how it was designed. I know it doesn't have to be exact, but this thing is too fast. Too fast, too furious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. And then how many deep is that? 1, 2. Do I break the glass and go in? No. No, that'd be stupid. That's how deep it is. And then obviously the back wall. See how fast this is, man? It's unbelievable. Crazy. What those here? I hope those don't spawn in here though. Because I'm pretty sure that has a spawn radius of 9. Right? Yeah. But I'm going to be having... I mean, it doesn't matter if they spawn in here, honestly. Because, I mean, regardless, everything's going to get killed. So it's not that big of an issue. So it looks like the spawner's going to go... Not even. Oh, no. Oh. There's no even. Yeah, it is right. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Put all that up there. So spawner's gonna go there. What else do I have set up over here? That's it, right? Spawner, vacuum, transfer, ender chest, mob draconic, mob grinder. Okay. So let's get out of that. Go into mob grinder. Stabilize. I know how to spell. Ooh, which one do I want to do? These have to spawn quick, so I 100% want an awakened core one. I don't have awakened core. Okay. We covered this previous episode, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with the same content. So yeah. In between episodes, I am going to make some more redstone furnaces up to the Signalium or higher. I might upgrade these as well. But I want to make it just so each one of these has a separate furnace. So if we have to make these, the patterns and the advanced, it doesn't have to fight over which one's going where. And it might actually confuse the system itself, honestly, to be honest. I think I said honest 3 times, but just so you know I'm honest. So, I'm going to go ahead and make some furnaces, upgrade those. I'm also going to get our spawner for our slime balls going, because we do need a lot of those. And hopefully by the end of the next episode, hopefully we have enough storage drives that we can store everything up and ship it on over to our dome, and we can move into our temporary home that's under construction because nothing is set up to where I want it, and I don't have any idea of how I want it. So, probably just going to do layers down with the elevator blocks. I like the elevator blocks because they're simple. You just go dink dink real quick. I love the design of these, and I love how they move, and I like how it's an actual elevator, but it is slow. Really slow. So, I'm probably just going to do elevator blocks down the middle, keep the same size of the building going all the way down, so it's sort of like a tower-based thing. And each floor is going to have its own thing. I'm going to have a mining level down at the very bottom. I'm never going to have to mine, so just cut that, slash that, whatever you want to say. Never going to have a mining one. So I'm probably going to put this down at the bottom so we don't have to have mobs spawning above us, below us, and we hear it constantly. So that's probably going to be all the way at the bottom, probably about like 11, 12, maybe 14, so there's no lava. But I think lava spawns at 12, but before this turns into a rambling video, I'm going to end it there, and I'm going to start working on what I have to in between episodes, and I will catch you guys in the next one.